Yeah. So we have a device like this. I would say it's the media converter, isn't it? I'll take only the front of the image and proceed with our class. So now, sorry. Now, if I have something like this, she is single mode. It's single mode already now. By default, it is single mode or is multi-mode. By default, it is what? Single mode. Isn't it? It's not carrying multiple wavelengths. Isn't it? Just one single wavelength. So my transmit would go to where? My receive, isn't it? And the receive here this other receive here will go to my what? Transmit. Isn't it? So that means this link can span any distance, but we have a maximum. Most of this device, most of the media converters that you can buy in the market, their maximum distance is set at 20 kilometers. Are we listening? Yes. 20 what?
Kilometers.
Right? So that means this is Spilling training center at Urmalogo. And this is Spilling training center at Garrison. Are we following?
Yes,
So that means Spilling can connect a link from their router, isn't it? to this port. I can connect on this other center. They can connect another link from another router to that port. Let me bring a picture of the router. So I can say, let me say Microtik CCR router. Let me say CCR 2004. Sorry. Okay, so I've gotten what I need. Let me take it. I just need a picture of this. Yeah, so I can come back to my topology. Reduce now. So, what have we just established? We have connected the router or any device, isn't it, at this place to this other place, isn't it? So, whether this device here has 2,000 connections on it, or 1,000 connections on it, or even 2 devices on top of it, and the network engineer over there said, please help me establish a link between this side and this side, isn't it? Our job as a fiber technician is to what? Deploy this fiber connection. We don't care what they are doing with the link, isn't it? Except now maybe you're the one doing the link. That's when you cannot care about it. But you caring about what's happening on the router is actually another job. That's networking, isn't it? You talking about the link between these 2 sites and its fiber. That's another job role, which is what? A fiber technician, right? So this is where your work ends as a technician in fiber, to deploy the link. And when you deploy the link, you make sure that what? TX, because you actually have to provision 2 active cores of cable. Even if they give you a 96 core cable to lay between these 20 kilometers, even if they give you a 48 core cable, even if they give you an 8 core cable to lay, right, between site A and site B, at the end, when you want to connect those 2 devices together, TX must go to where? ROX. And this TX from this side must go to where? ROX. If for any reason somebody swap it and TX now is not going to TX and ROX is going to ROX, would the link come up? No. Simple. So have I answered your question? We do not care the number of people connected because there can be multiple persons connected to it. In fact, what you learned in networking when we started our course was that the work of a switch is to what? Multiply a network to multiple what? Ports, isn't it? So if I have a media converter that just have one port, and maybe I needed any connection that was coming via this fiber network, let's say for instance now, this is the Speedlink headquarter at Roma Logo, and this is a sub training center at Garrison. That training center over there, they do not care about networking, right? All they just want to do is what? Browse, isn't it? So that means anything they are doing there can be controlled from the headquarter. True or false? So that means we can just establish a long internet link to that place, which is what we are going to do now through the fiber cable. Just establish a long link that will get to that destination. And once that link is up, over here now we can connect this to a switch, which can now multiply to as more devices that you need. We don't really care about that. As fiber engineers, we are interested in what? Establishing what? The fiber link, because that's where the main thing is. If for any reason this link is cut somewhere here, maybe even just one core, I have an eraser here. Maybe just somewhere here the link is being cut. Even if the TX from this side can go to the ROX here, because the TX from this side cannot go back to this ROX, the link is what? Down, unstable. Are we following? Let's understand our job. And what is this type of fiber networking? I will ask again. What do we call this type of fiber networking? An active optical what? Okay. I have another one. I have another one. I purchased this device. If you zoom in, this word here is what? Porn, isn't it? I just hope I can zoom in here. I hope you see it. Porn, right? Okay, so let me just come back. Okay, oh. My artistic skills are coming to play. Yes. To complete this topology, okay, well. All right. I hope what we have here is clear. So in this case, I take an optical line terminal, which for short we call what? OLT, isn't it? This is a one-port OLT. So, and since it's one port, they made the interface a square connector, right? So I can just take my splitter that has a square connector and plug directly to it. Though this is, if you remember from our class, this is incorrect, isn't it? Why is it incorrect? This is incorrect. Why is it incorrect? It's incorrect because of what? The mismatch in the type of square connector. This is blue color, isn't it? Which means is a what? A UPC square connector that is expected to what? Go in. UPC, isn't it? Am I wrong? But we are taking APC to plug in UPC, which we know that would introduce what? Cable loss, isn't it? We have done the experiment before now, haven't we? We found out that it was around 3 decibels of loss that will be added. So fundamentally this is wrong, but just forget about that. Just understand what I'm trying to show you. We take an OLT, we plug in a cable. That one single cable goes into a splitter that divides the signal that is coming here into 4 different what? Parts. So that we can take this part and send to our client and plug to his what? Device. Isn't it? Then the client, maybe if the client has a laptop, he can use this port. Now this is an Ethernet port, isn't it? That's an Ethernet port now. Yes. So the client can plug his a laptop to this port. This is a place for power, to power the device. Now, which type of optical networking is this? Christian, which type of optical networking is this? Single. Christian, are you with us? Miracle. This is what? Passive optical networking. Even if this device in this port 1, sorry, is not working, the one in port 2 can be what? Working. Isn't it? The customer in port 3 can be what? On. Right? The customer in port 4 can be what? On. Even if all of them are off. The only thing is that once you go off, you don't have any connection again, isn't it? Isn't it? Do we understand? Can I leave this thing and go and talk about what we are supposed to talk about today?
Sir, break it down.
What do you want me to break down again? Ask me.
Sir, you actually said call 1 might not be working. So call 1.
Yeah, like if a customer is plugged to this particular port, this particular port here, this one, you're not plugged to this port, but someone else is plugged to this port. So the question now comes, because this person's own is not working, should it affect this other person? No. That's why it's what? Passive. We do not care about what's happening to the other person. Are we following? Even if this person's own has low signal and this person's own has high signal, because this one has low signal and his device is not working well, it will not come and be affecting this one that has high signal. Never. By the end of the day, all of them, all their connection goes back to the device through what? This single fiber optic core. Why is everybody sleeping? Should I off the fan? Let me off the fan. Everybody is sleeping. Oh, we should stand up. If I notice that we are sleeping again, I will stand us up. All these customers, if like let them be 50 in number, if like let them be 20 in number, if this link here goes down, where is my eraser now? If this link here goes down just before the splitter, everybody after the splitter goes down. If the link after the splitter but only this score goes down, what happens? Only that customer on that side or the customers on that link would be what? Affected. The rest are always up. This in essence is the same thing you have been going at. You are going out for practicals, you are going out for deployments. This is what you're doing. Is it making sense? Now, I asked a question last week. If I had 200 customers in Okewale and I wanted to service them using fiber, which optical networking mode would I use? Active. All right. Miracle, you. Active. Ekene? Active. Answer now. Not active. Just say your own answer. No, I've not asked you to explain yet. What's your own answer? We are waiting. Please say passive. What's your own? We should use passive. Okay. All right. So let's start now. Why do you say active?
So I said active because of the diagram on the board.
You heard the question right?
Yes. If you
I have 200 customers in this estate,
yes,
and I wanted to service them. Which would you use? Active?
I said active.
Yes.
In the sense that the 200 of them, they're all coming from one source. Now, and they are all sharing this one particular cable line. So you don't have to start running each house now have one cable, each other have one cable. You just have to run one cable and you get to the junction box. To this house, then you go to this house. All of them are sharing cable.
But that's not active now.
That's what I'm describing what is. Like what you said earlier, like this single, this part of the cable is BizLink. This other part belongs to the customers.
The question was, I have 200 customers in Okewale, right? And I would like to service them using fiber, which now you have been contracted now as the fiber engineer to design that plan. Now, which of the fiber optic mode would you be using? Or the fiber optic networking mode will you be using? That's you now, the fiber engineer, that's your choice to make. Or that's the recommendation you're going to give to the client that I recommend this. And why am I recommending this? Based on what? These reasons. Now that's the reason I'm asking you. You said you recommended active. Now what's the active? You said based on each client to be having one cable, isn't it?
They can actually share.
Okay, they can actually share one cable, but that means you're misinterpreting active and what? Passive, because that's the role of passive optical networking, where one single cable is responsible for transmission and what? Receiving. So that one customer or multiple customers living in the same compound, we could take one single cable to them and split the signal, isn't it? And one single cable will be going to each what? Customer. That's passive, not longer active. So you said active. Why? Back up your answer.
For the act, I like what.
Why did you say active?
Now, why I said active is because you can actually use each of the customers. What comes is you can use two fiber optic cables for each of the.
We should use two fiber optic cable for each customer. No, you've answered. I'm not teaching you to go and pass an exam. Are we writing any certification course? No. I'm teaching you to understand. Me, I'm not. Even if you not define it well, I'm not interested in your definition. All I want to see is that as you are trying to tell me something, the main points, the key points, are there. Are you following? The question is, I have 200 customers. They said passive and they are correct. We have two fiber optic networking modes that we know, isn't it? Namely, active and what? And passive. In active, would require 2 cables minimum per link, isn't it? And it must be point to what? Point. These are key points now I'm saying no. In active, it must be what? Point to point. And as it's point to point, it requires minimum of what? 2 fiber optic cores. Minimum. And also the maximum, 2 fiber optic cores for it to work. Now, in passive, it requires just what? 1 fiber optic what? Core, which could be splitted to multiple pathways, making it a point to multi-point what? Cable deployment scenario. Now, I have 200 customers in this estate. The estate is small. The customers or the residents of the estates are closely packed together. So meaning in one particular spot, you could have 10 of them. In one particular spot, you could have 3 of them. In one particular spot, you could have 1 of them. Isn't it? Now, if I should run active networking in that estate, it means for those 200 customers, I'll be having minimum of what? 400 cores of what? Cable. True or false? True. Because each customer would have 2 cables. And those 2 cables would be run directly from the customer's house to the what? The internet service provider's site. Meaning, if me and customer A, the distance between ISP and customer A is 200 meters. That means in total, I would have consumed 400 meters of what? Fiber cable. Isn't it? 2 now. 200 for transmit, 200 for what? Receive. If another customer B is 500 meters from the ISP, I'm also going to run 500 meter cable between the ISP and the customer, which will be total of what? 1000 meters, because it's 500 times 2. So just to service 2 customers, customer A and customer B, I've run a cable of 1000 plus 400, isn't it? Which brings me a total of 1400 meters. Now multiply this to maybe customers that are far from me, let's say 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. Do you think active networking would work in that scenario? Never. It's not cost effective. It will work. It will work.
Cost effective.
It will work actually. If you want to deploy it, it will work. Each customer will work. But it's not what? Cost effective. Do you understand? That's what makes the difference between you and a quack fiber engineer. Is that you have the theory, which means you can go back and plan, and you can also what? Execute. Does it make sense? We should be responsible in planning and also responsible in what? Executing. Now, what if the second question? I hope you understand the answer to the question now.
Yes.
Now, okay. You are in charge of a big service provider in the nation. Let's assume Nigeria, our country. And that service provider has point of presence in the 36 states, the 37 states of the country. Are we following? Now, you've been tasked with deploying fiber optics to those different states. Which of the fiber optic modes would you use? Bearing in mind that even in a state, you have multiple points of presence even inside one state, because as you have a point of presence in Rivers State, it does not mean that it's only in this local government you have point of presence. You have point of presence everywhere, all around the state. So which of the fiber optical modes would you use, networking modes would you use? Active. Christian, say active. Miracle. Passive. Okay. You passive. Ekene? Just tell me, active or passive? You use passive. All right. Let's go now. Let's defend our answers. Christian, why do you say active?
Before you say something that even in the States, it uses multi-users. There are a lot of users in the States. So why I say active, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think the reason is I think the reason should be the distance and the users that are included. The passive can also do the same. But for me, I don't think you want.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah.
The question is, you are in charge of the fiber optic deployment for a big internet service provider. And you are connecting multiple states to each other? That's the question. You said passive. Why?
I said passive because of the consumption management. Just like you said earlier, if you are using active, it has to do with two cables, which if you actually calculate them, it will be much and to consume a lot of fiber optic cable, unlike the passive.
So
Okay.
I say one such thing I'm going to give you because of what you just explained now. If I'm deploying a cable, for example, headquarters is in Lagos to Port Harcourt, and I'm using active, that means I'm going to cable, one in, one out. Eventually, the company is going to incur more costs, and even on my end, it's going to be more tedious for me to run the cable to Port Harcourt and move back to Lagos. So basically, it's passive. So just run one cable to each of the states.
Okay, now?
Very passive because it involves work and big contracts from a company, and that's work. It's not what we just do is it's because let me say because it requires a company that's giving you that kind of job. So I believe that's the way it's passive because it requires more for that hands.
Okay. Let's do an exercise. Can you, for the next 10 minutes, assume that you never learned of passive optical networking?
Assume.
Can you assume? Yeah. Can you assume that you don't know about it? You don't know anything that concerns it? Christian, can you do that? For the next 10 minutes. Miracle. Can you assume?
This will be difficult.
It's a mind drill. I want you to forget about it. I don't know anything that concerns FTTH. Forget about it. Can you do that? Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? All right. So it means that so far in this training, we've learned that we run fiber cables, and the only type of fiber cables that we run is active fiber cables, isn't it? One for transmission and one for what? Receiving, isn't it? We do not do FTTH. No, we don't know anything about that, right? So if you have a task to deploy a fiber optic cable for our company, first of all, that should cover the whole country, because we are having points of presence in all the states in the country. That means we'll look at the map of the country, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We'll look at the map of the country. When we look at the map of the country, what's the reason we are looking at the map of the country? We'll look for the shortest path. What will be the shortest path in all our cable deployment, isn't it? Assuming I want to get a cable from Kano State up here down to Rivers State, where will be the route to follow, isn't it? Assuming we want to go from Sokoto all the way to Lagos, how do we interconnect those two states, isn't it? Assuming we want to go from Gombe State down to Akure, how do we run the cable from Gombe State, from Gombe down to Akure, right? How do we connect Abuja to Lagos? How do we connect Calabar? Where is Calabar? yeah, how do we connect Calabar to Ibadan? Isn't it? How do we connect Binikebi down to Nsukka? Isn't it? Those are the things we'll be looking at based on the requirements. Now, at the end of the day, you get the map, the shortest distance that you want to take, how your cables would interconnect all the states. Which means that we'll be using active words, networking, because that's what we know. Are we following? That's the only type of fiber deployment that we know of. So each of these connections would be point to point. So that means if Abuja has a connection to Lagos, that connection is only between Abuja and what? Lagos only. If Abuja has a connection to Port Harcourt, that connection is between Abuja and Port Harcourt what? Only. Are we following? If Maiduguri has connection to Kano State, that connection will only be between Kano and what? Maiduguri. Nobody else. True of us. And in point-to-point deployment, the advantages of using point-to-point deployment is that the speed can be as fast as what needed. Are we following? The speed can be as fast as what needed. Now, what do you mean by as fast as needed? I mean that we're not changing the underlying fiber cable. If we want to go from a speed of 10 gig to 100 gig, what we need to change is just the what? The modulator and the demodulator, which you know is the SFP, right? Isn't it? We just buy a faster SFP that can go for that distance. Isn't it? We proceed. Now, inside each state, for example, there's a cable for us to connect Port Harcourt. We have a cable going through Delta State from Lagos through Warri to Bayelsa, and that cable drops in Port Harcourt. And we also have another cable coming from Owerri to Port Harcourt, isn't it? And we also have another cable coming from Akwa Ibom through Uyo to Port Harcourt. And all of them goes to our headquarters in Port Harcourt. Let's say our headquarters is inside this our office in Romalog here. Are we following? So that means 3 different connections, and each of them are point to point, isn't it? Uyo to Port Harcourt, right? Bayelsa to what? Port Harcourt, and Owerri to what? To Port Harcourt, right? So that means the speed between any kind of bandwidth or traffic going between Port Harcourt and Yenagoa is not shared by any other person, isn't it? Isn't it? No other person shares it. The only people that are sharing it is between Yenagoa and what? Port Harcourt. The speed between Port Harcourt and Uyo is not also shared by any other what? Party. True of us? True. Because the link is what? Point to what? Point. If you remember from that our diagram, the first diagram, from the media converter to another media converter, is what? Direct links, isn't it? This link between Owerri and Port Harcourt is also what? Direct. So nobody is sharing it. So that means we can send message as fast as possible from Port Harcourt to Owerri, from Port Harcourt to Uyo, from Port Harcourt to Yenagoa. Now, alright, let's come back. Now, you've learned FTTH. You've learned PON. Now the question comes, since you just learned PON, Should I change this my deployments between Port Harcourt and Uyo, Port Harcourt and Enigwa, and Port Harcourt and Owerri? Should I change it? Now, in answering that question, you have to answer the requirements of your network. First of all, everything that has a disadvantage has a what? Advantage, and everything that has an advantage has a what? Disadvantage. Know the things you're sacrificing. The first thing, if I take a link between Port Harcourt, Port Harcourt and Uyo, Port Harcourt and Owerri, and Port Harcourt and Yenegua, and I change those links to become passive optical network links, it means that the link between Uyo, Port Harcourt and Owerri would be what? Shared. True or false? In pawn, you bring out one single pawn and you split it to 3 persons. Those 3 persons would share the speed of what? That single what? Pawn. True or false? True. So if we introduce this to the big 37 states that we have, it means that if our link speed of our pawn is 1 gig and we have divided it into the 37 states, at the end of the day, we have divided that link speed into what? 37 times. So that means we have 1000 bits divided by what? 37. That will give us the speed of every what? State. Isn't it? But if you use active optical networking, each state will have the fastest speed that they can have based on their what? Their link. Isn't it? Then the next thing, distance. When you want to consider distance, passive optical links are tied to distances of less than 20 kilometers. Once you have a link that would span across 20 kilometers, it's no longer recommended to use passive optical network. Are you noting it down? The first thing in link deployments. Our topic today is what? Deployment and planning. When we are deploying and planning, the first thing we want to care about is the speed. What's the speed that is required? How fast should data move between different endpoints? When we know the speed, then we can go to the what? The distance between these different endpoints. What is the distance? If the distance is greater than 20 kilometers, don't even think of what? Pawn. Is it making sense? If the distance across each node is greater than 20 kilometers, you don't even think of what? Pawn. Are we following? Because once the distance is greater than 20 kilometers, any fiber link that will go across 20 kilometers has to be what? Active. It has to be what? Active. It has to be active. Once the link goes across 20 kilometers. So distance is the next thing that we are what? To care about.
That means this particular feature you have is active.
It's active. Because the link that we're talking about spans more than 20 kilometers. Then we will now go further in our learning today into what? Hybrid deployment. I've thought though, you think we are joking, we've learned though. If you have not learned, I don't know for you. If me, I don't know anything. After this class, I know that once I want to deploy fiber cable, once the link is greater than 20 kilometer, my only option is what? Active. And if it's lesser than 20 kilometer, it's active and passive.
Okay,
you can use the boat. But now, since you can use the boat, you now need to now look at the next consideration, which is what? Speed. Because the distance is within 20 kilometers, you now need to look at what? The speed. Now, what's the speed that is required for this link? If the speed required for this link is maybe like 1 megabit, and I have multiple customers, I could then use what? Point to what? Multi-point, which obviously would not be what? Passive. But if the requirements of this link, they are very particular about what? Speed. It means I have to still stick to what? Active. The only time when you're planning a fiber deployment that your mind should go to passive optical networking is when you know that there are plenty customers within the same what? Place. Within the same vicinity. Like an estate. Within the what? There are multiple customers within the same place. And these multiple customers, their speeds, they don't really care about what? Speed. And even if they do care about speed, if we divide the link speed from the service provider down to the customer by the maximum number of customers that we can support based on one link, it will not affect them. For instance, the maximum speed in the GPON from the OLT down to the GPON, the downlink, the download speed is normally rated at 2.5 gigabits per second in GPON deployment. In SGPON deployment, what's the meaning of SGPON? As I'm saying, write it down. Tomorrow you still ask me again. No? In SGPON deployment, what does it mean? What does the X there mean? 10. So it means 10 gigabit what? PON, isn't it? Is it making sense? X G PON. If you come to, when I searched for this device, if you look at the documentation of this PON, this is a GPON. If you look at the documentation, you will see that the speed, the transmission distance can reach what? 20 what? Kilometer. Then they have a picture of the where you apply it, and you see it obviously in what? Fiber to the what? Home. Why did they do it in fiber to the home? Because multiple customers will be what? Living, their houses will be what? Close by. So that means I can just take one single PON and send down to them. I'm looking out for the downlink speed. We should just okay, though it's not here, but if you check, maybe if you look at the let me just put it in the keyword downlink or downlink speed. So You can see there, a VISO single port GPON OLT downlink speed is rated at what? 2.488. That's approximately what? Or equal to 2.5 gigabits per what? Second. So, and the maximum number of persons you could divide it to is how many? 128, isn't it? That's the maximum split ratio. That single pond that is coming out from it, you can divide it into 128 different what? Parts. That's the maximum. But I've always told us, in practice, we'd always try to stick to what? Which number? $50. How many again?
50.
How many again? 50. So that means if you're always trying to stick to 50, if we do our math, we have a total speed of 2.5 gig, or let me put it down, 2,500. You divide it by 50 clients sharing that speed. When you divide it by 50 clients, you get that all those customers who will be browsing, if all of them were to download at the same time, the maximum each person can have is what? 50.
Let me understand something. You said the maximum number of customers we should split in respect to.
One single pond.
One single point should not exceed 50. So that means in an estate whereby you have more than 50, that means we just categorize 50 for this point, 50 for this point.
All these things we are talking about, when we finally go down to deployments, you begin to pick each of these as a requirement for you to choose. Just like you have said, when we go down to deployments now, for example, we're looking at to plan for an FTTH deployment for this estate. If we notice that maybe in this part of the estate, more than 50 customers are prospective to come out from there, then we know that we have to deploy more than one pond to that place, isn't it? Do you understand? And the upload speed is at a speed of 1.244 or 1.25. That's 1,250. So that means each customer, if we have 50 customers, we'll now be dividing 1,250 divided by what? Divided by what? 50. You see that each customer can upload at what? A maximum speed of what? 25. So with this, it's obviously clear that those 50 customers are sharing that single spot, the speed of that single what? Port. Is it making sense? And if there is load, let's say those your customers, they are paying for 100 Mbps internet, 100 Mbps, all of them are paying for 100 Mbps, and all of them start downloading at the same time. Instead of them to get 100 Mbps, they'll be getting what? 50 during heavy usage, because this customer A is pulling 50, customer B is pulling 50, isn't it? By the time they add up, they will get to the maximum that port can what? Pull. And once it gets to the maximum that port can pull, to start sharing. No, you will not get what you are trying to get, except that there is no load. Let's say out of the 50, only 2 persons are browsing at 100 Mbps. They will get their 100 Mbps because the port can still pull more, isn't it? Isn't it?
So what if the clients, they are doing like there are a lot of devices connected to the internet, only one client? Will the speed, will this affect the speed?
That's why I said one client is. What if in a scenario where 2 clients are pressing the network down on their end, isn't it? And the remaining 48 clients are not using anything on the network. It means those 48, anybody that comes from there and want to browse, we still have a network bandwidth for that person, isn't it? Just look at it, it's a pool. The maximum, all of us, once you deploy a pond, In essence, you have created a tree. You have created a what? A tree, isn't it? I hope this is correct. What I'm drawing now is relatable. We can relate with it, right? If the maximum speed that this single part can exit to the internet is rated at 2,500, and all of us under it are passing through it, it means that there's nothing we'll do that will make it go above what? 2,500. So if 100 persons have pressed it and it's going beyond 2,500, you that will make them 101, there will be no space for you again. Isn't it? There will be no space for you again. That's the reason why in FTTH deployment, we try to bring down the customers to 50. Not only the bandwidth. The next thing we are concerned with in FTTH deployment is the power. The optical what? Strength. By the time you split in practice, you go out for field work. You have gone out for 1 or 2 field work. 2 of us. When you went to the client's house, what was the power that you saw on average? On average, what did you see in the client's house as the optical strength? It's always around minus 20 something, minus 20 something, minus 20 something, isn't it?
The last one we saw was minus 22.
Now, if you are seeing minus 20 something and you want to, and you wanted to split it again, if you split it by 1:2, if you split by 1:2, what's the number of loss that you have added first of all by splitting? How many dB?
0.3.
No, now.
3.
Split loss.
Split loss.
Every splitter has a specified ratio loss that it would cause. I bring in a light and I flash it 8 different ways. I've reduced it now, isn't it? That's the split loss. It has a loss. It's common now. You already know that 10. We always go out with 1/8. 2 of us. Okay, maybe you don't go out with 1/2. That's why you don't know for 1/2. 1/8. Which one is for 1/8?
Minus 8.
Minus 9.9, which makes it approximately of minus what? 10. So once you take a fiber cable and split it into 8 ports, you have added what? 10 dB loss on that cable. Now if I take minus 22 or minus 21 and split it into 8 different parts, how many dB loss have I added? Minus what? 10, isn't it? So it means at the exit point now, instead of minus 22, what will be coming at? Minus 32. Isn't it? 2 of us. True. True of us. All right. Enough talking. Let's go into practice. All of us, open up your web browser. When you open up your web browser, I want you to visit. Just search the Google Chrome search engine, any search engine of your choice. Search for UISP Design Center. UISP Design Center. The website is ispdesign.ui.com. ispdesign.ui.com. ispdesign.ui.com.
Okay. Design Center will be creating community.
Are we there? Are you in this page? ISP dot design center. Sorry, ISP design dot UI.com, isn't it? ISP dot, are you there? ISPdesign.ui.com. If you don't know the website, just type UISP Design Center. It's actually
active.
That is working.
Yes, but it doesn't work on mobile devices.
No, it doesn't. This one will load. It doesn't work on mobile device. That's why I say open up your laptops. Have you loaded something that looks like this? Ekene? Have you loaded something that looks like this? So I'm going to give you a task. When you go back home, you sign up.
Okay.
When you go back home, are you seeing the sign in button here? There's a place to create an account. Sign in. Click sign in. When you go back home, or not now, click sign in. Create an account with them. Are we following? When you create an account with them, that's your assignment. Tomorrow you log on with that account that you have created with them. But for the meantime, when you just open up the website, I don't want you to sign in. We just want to do a drill. Once you open the website for the first time, it shows you maybe like a pop-up of what to do. But if you don't know what to do, over here there's a button here. Do you see this button?
Yes.
Place your fiber nodes, isn't it?
Yes.
I want you to click on it. Now, just unclick it, unselect that fiber node. First of all, you need to drag your map. This is a Google map, isn't it? I hope it's familiar. Most of us who have seen Google Map now. Everybody in this class at this point in time, we know how to navigate Google Map. This is a Google Map. If you don't like this one, like if you are like me and you don't like this one, you can click over here, choose map type. Up above here, there's a button, choose map type. I like satellite so that we'll see the roof. Are you following? For example, let's do a project for Rumosi. Here is Rumosi Junction. This is Alakaya. So this is Alakaya Junction. So this is Rumosi Junction. Now, you've been hearing fiber to the home, fiber to the home. This is Rumosi. Rumosi spreads from here down to, I think Rumosi is big, down to this place. So this is our experiment for today. Till we close, we're going to plan and deploy. You are doing it on your computer. Our service provider, we are the internet company, isn't it? I'll just put okay, we are our company headquarters is at the Rumosi Junction. This is Rumosi Junction. I hope we are there. You have gone to Rumosi Junction.
On it right now.
This is Rumosi Junction. I'll put your mouse over there. I want to see your mouse over there. This is why I say, do you know how to use the map? If you don't know how to use the map, see, look up, look up. If you look at this position, anytime you see this icon when using the map, this means your location, isn't it? Your location. This means your location. Click now. Okay, or you do like, go up here, just go up here. I noticed that some of us, our icon, our map is in another country. Go up here, allow access to your location. Allow access to your location, so that it will just take you down to where you are. Look for location and allow access to it. If you allow access to the location, you refresh the page to just bring it back to Nigeria. Have you allowed access to location? No, it has brought you back to Nigeria. All right, so have we identified Rumosi Junction? Have we identified Rumosi Junction? See Rumosi here now. See Rumekini. This is Rumosi. Yeah. So over here at Rumosi Junction, over here at Rumosi Junction, over here at the junction directly, this is where our base station is. Are you following? What do I mean by base station?
Our office.
Our office. The starting what? Point. The root of that tree. Because this is multiple homes. We are actually going to be deploying fiber to the what? Home. Isn't it? Because this, if you look at this map, we are trying to get connection to this community. This is Rumosi community. We want to sell internet to customers living in this vicinity. So obviously it's going to be a fiber to the home deployment, which would utilize which of the optical network topologies we talk about? Passive or active? Passive or active? Active. Active. Christian, passive or active? Passive. Miracle. Passive. At this point, nobody should be failing all this kind of question. We have multiple customers living between. It's obviously going to be passive. All right. So, if I look at the screen, up here, you add your what? place your fiber nodes. Click on that button. When you click on that button, you come to the junction over here. Drag that button. When you click on it, just move your mouse down to this button, to this area on the map, the Rumosi Junction. The Rumosi Junction, now where the Rumekini Road intersects the East-West Road. Come there and click. Now, once you click, what happens? It places an OLT there for you automatically and places an ONU somewhere. If you notice, you can now drag that ONU to any place you like. Where you see that number 8.
Number 8 is ONU.
Yeah, the ONUs. So it added by default. That's how it does it. It will just add 8 ONUs, so you can delete them. You can delete them. I'll delete all of them and only leave only ONU 1. Yes, ONU 1.
And the OLT is your...
Yes, the OLT is the transmitter, isn't it?
Yes.
The root of the tree. Now, we'll change the type of OLT. This company that developed this tool we are using, they also make fiber products. Look up. This company, they also make fiber products. So down here at the product, they have fiber OLT4. That's the one that is selected by default. And they have fiber OLT. Now, if you notice, the fiber OLT4 has only 4 PON ports. And while the fiber OLT has what? 8 PON ports. What does that mean? It means if you go and buy this device, you can even see the cost, $1,799 for 8 ports. It means that you're buying an 8 PON OLT, having how many ports? 8. So that means you now have a maximum of 50 times what? 8 if you plan very well, isn't it? 50 times 8, how many customers is that? 50 times 8. About 2,000 customers, right? Is it 2,000? 800?
400.
400, sorry. No, 400 customers. My head is thinking money. So, 400 customers. All right. So, I just want you to change that OLT to fiber OLT, which is the one that has 8 ports. If you can look at it, 8 ports. Then, they also have an SFP module from the practical we did last week. I showed you an OLT SFP, isn't it? And I showed you the normal SFP. That is, I showed you 2 types of SFP. SFP used in passive networking and SFP used in what? Active networking. True of us? We can look at it again. It's not a problem. I'll show you if you want to see it again. We have a normal SFP. If I look for SFP 1 gig SFP single mode. If you look at the images, something is prevalent in the images. What's prevalent? All of them, they have TX and what? ROS, isn't it? TX and ROX. And I also showed you how to find them out. Which one is the TX? What did I say? With the clip looking at you, right?
Yes.
The TX is the one by the left hand
Side.
and the RX is the one by the what?
Right hand side.
Right hand side. Why an OLT SFP? The name is the GPON SFP. Now, if you notice, what can you see from the GPON SFP? It has only one port, isn't it? And it's made up of a square connector. In fact, this is made from Ubiquiti, which is the company that we're using for this practical now. So they have B plus and they have C plus. Now, the B plus shoots a lower power when you compare it with what? The C plus. Now, if you look at this downstream signal, when I select a C plus, do you see it's shooting how many? 4 dB. That's plus what? 4. And if I use a B plus, how many dB is it shooting? 2 dB. So obviously, we would always prefer to go with a what? A C plus, higher power, so that our clients can get more signal. All right. Then there are also more details to note. The maximum number of customers this device can support is what? 1,024 what? Customers. So if you divide 1,024 customers divided by 8, how many do you get? You get 128. Is it 128? Yeah, 128.
But do we have a content? We have a content calendar, right?
128. Meaning 128 is the maximum, which we already know that all OLTs support per port, isn't it? But in practice, we use how many? 50 out of that 128. I'm still saying it again though, so that it will sink in. All right. Now let's start. By looking at the map, this is, sometimes you can look at the map to draw, to plan. Sometimes you may even need to go down to the physical area to inspect. But by the use of map, if you start using map a lot, you will know how to see some things in the map. Like for instance, I can see that this place, look at this part of the site. There's no logical plan, isn't it? There's no logical plan. No road. Look at all these houses here. Do you see any road intersecting them? No. Instead, rather, it looks like a cluster of what? Houses, what we call bacha, something like that. So meaning, if you are to run a plan for them, that means your cable will be passing on top some of them, their roof. So we may leave this side. And also, this part of this Rumosi is also the junction. So majorly, it will be comprised of shops, not residential homes. True or false? True. So we could leave that area. This is a school, isn't it? This is a school. Now after the school, there's a street. You can see a street there, right? The street walks down this way, goes like this, and goes, intersects, and comes like this, and goes like this, and the rest. But if I look at that street, I can see that it contains some houses, true or false? And it looks more residential than the first one that we were looking at. It looks organized, right? And it looks more residential. So for that reason, we'll start our deployment from that area. Now, we'll take our ONU, we'll assume, we'll just drag that ONU to that street. Once you drag that ONU to that street, let's look for a way to cover all these houses. Make sure we provide internet to all these houses here. Or let me say 10 houses from this block of estate. Now, to provide internet to these 10 blocks of houses in this side, should we put our distribution box over here, over here, over here, over here, or towards here at the end? Which one do you think? That's why I say you should look at the screen. Look at the screen. Forget, I've just introduced you. Look at the screen and watch me do it. Then when you go back, you replicate the same. I have this street here, this area. Are you seeing this area? See where my mouse is covering, this area. And want to start our deployment there. And we're assuming that 10 customers from this area has signed up for our business. Now, the question is, where should we place our distribution box that will go down to these 10 customers? And I asked, should it be in the beginning, in the middle, or towards the ending? Obviously, you put your distribution box in the middle so that you have the shortest distance from each customer. For instance, if a customer from here were to sign up, we'll run his cable from here down to the distribution box, isn't it? Okay. If another customer from here were to sign up, we'll run it from here down to here, isn't it? Ekene, you will stand up. If another customer was to sign up from the middle, we'll just run this cable from here down to the to the box, isn't it? Isn't it? Now, if it's in the middle, what if it was here? If it was here, you would need more cables because the people here will be using short cable, but the people in the middle will run for them. The people down here will also run long distances for them, isn't it? If you also take this other side, the same thing, right? So in planning, Christian, where do we put this distribution box? Between all of them, right? All right. Now, if you notice, housekeeping, where you are, as you're moving your devices, your cable will like to be running up and down. So sometimes there are options to just lock the cable to the position. So look at this. If I click on this cable, if I click on this cable, by the options, there is what they call to change the color, to add a splitter, to add a waypoint. So I'm trying to lock this cable that I'm running to fit along the street. So that word is what? Waypoint. So I'll select waypoint. Once I select waypoint, this is a point there. This is a point. So that means I can drag this point to here, right? And when I drag it to that place, I can click on that waypoint and lock. So that no matter how I drag this other waypoint, this is snapped to that particular position. Does it make sense? Housekeeping is not compulsory, but it will help you. As I click on this one again, I also lock the waypoint. Sorry, let me do it from my screen here. It's a bit slow. Okay. So I've done here, lock. I also done here, lock. Now to add a splitter, that same way you add a waypoint, you just click. Instead of clicking on waypoint now, you click on what? Add what? Splitter, isn't it? Add what? Splitter. Now remember, we are assuming 10 clients from this area. So which kind of splitter are we going to add? In 1 by what? 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is not enough. I said how many customers? 10. If you add 1 by 8, that means you need to split it what? Another 1 by 8, isn't it? To support the remaining 2 clients. So instead you add the 1 by what? 16. Now, as we add the 1 by 16, we can then take this device and drag to, let's say, this client's house here. How many ONUs do I still have in my own? ONU 8, okay. So that's just one. Instead of ONU 8, I'll call it customer 1, customer dash 1. I can, to add another customer, I come back to that splitter, right? Do you see add ONU? I see it. I add one. If I need more, I can add the quantity, maybe 3. It will just deploy them random places. So it's your duty now to drag them back to where you want them to be. So maybe this one is on his house is here. Where is the last ONU that was added? Okay. It added the 3 of them inside one place. Detach, detach, detach. All right. So yeah, that's so it's okay. It's easier for you to just add them one after the other. So I'll move here. As you move your customers, remember to lock their waypoint, so that when you move another one, like see this one now, I've run is automatically he went to go and run it to the back. But if you look at it, this customer can just be run from here down to here, isn't it? So what do? I just take look at his waypoint over here, drag them back. There's another one here, drag it back, and as you drag it, you lock it. You lock it so that anytime you move the ones that are not locked, those ones that are locked will be in place. All right. Who is this other one here? Okay, that's this customer. You can also delete some waypoint if you don't need it. You can delete it. Like I can see, this waypoint is not needed. No. Sorry, undo. This one is not needed. I delete that one. This one is not also needed. But when we added multiple customers, there was a problem that we created by adding multiple customers. It automatically added a splitter for them, right? So these 3 customers that were added, they are all added to this splitter. So I don't need that. I wanted to add all of them down here. So I'll delete that and start over. I'll just select add ONU, just one. Yeah, so this is correct. This is what I wanted to achieve. Drag his waypoint. Just come down here. And when you drag it there, you lock the position. You lock the position. I'll delete these other ones. Okay. Then you can just come again, add another ONU. That one will be somewhere here. Okay. Now, I have 3 customers out of 10 that I'm expected to put in, isn't it? Yes. Well, if you click on one of the customer, you will notice there's a problem. What's the problem? it's saying up here, no what? Link. If we deploy this kind of network, it will not work in real life. Because what's the reason? The reason is your OLT is shooting how many? +4, isn't it? You've added 1 by 16, which means 1 by 16 by the loss graph is going to add a loss of 12 what? 12 dB, right? 12, 13 dB. Now, if you add 12, 13 dB, that's a +4 minus 12. How many are you left with? +4 minus 12.
+4 minus 12. No, that's minus 2.
Huh?
Minus 2.
No. -8. But over here, this is assuming that if you add 1 by 16, the link loss is +14. Or you could just do a quick search, go to your browser, look for splitter loss ratio. Anything. Okay. So from the splitter loss graph, you can see that for a 1 by 16 is around what? An average of 13.5. So we can take 14. For 1 by 8 is an average of 10.3. For 1 by 4, 6 points. For 1 by 2, 3.6. These are the required losses that will be added. So if we come back to our graph, after adding +4, and we've added the loss of 14 dB, we are left with how many? -10. Are we following? At the client's house, downstream signal to that customer is what? -10. But the upstream signal to the OLT is at what? -12, which means is high. Look at it. Ensure that the optical signal fits within the valid signal range, which is between 30 dB and what? 12 dB. So the receive sensitivity should not be greater than what? 12 dB. And based on this, the receive sensitivity is not yet greater than what? 12 dB. Isn't it? But if you do this in practice, maybe splice loss or maybe connector loss may even help you and it will come up. If the power is too much, you spoil the device. That's what this thing is telling us. Are we there?
Too much power can spoil the device.
So in this case, what we can do is either we can increase the split ratio, change that splitter from 1 by 16 to let's say 1 by 32, which will add how many dB loss? Minus what? 1 by 32 is minus 16 dB. An average of minus 16 dB. So if you now see do you see that the device now is no longer red? It has what? Come up. So the downstream capacity 1 gig, that's download speed and upload speed 1 gig based on Ubiquiti's product. They even have different kind of products that they use for customers. For example, their best offering is I think, yeah, Wi-Fi 6. This is their best offering. In Wi-Fi 6, do you see the downlink 2.5, uplink 1.25? But don't forget that this 1.25, the PON itself is actually the same thing, isn't it? So 50 customers are still sharing that 1.25 upload and 2.5 download. What we have learned from this now is we can plan our deployments, isn't it? Knowing that for example, we can change the way we did this. Knowing that 1/16 is too small to power these 3 devices. Sorry, they were 10 though. I can change that and instead go this other route. I'll come, since it's 50 customers per PON, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes.
I've drawn out this place as 10. I look for the next place again. What about this place? Some customers can come out from here, right?
Yes.
Looking at the houses there, they are spare, so I can say 5 from here. What about this other side? Look at this fine alignment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You see another 5 customers from here, isn't it? Right? What about this side? This is another zone again, right? You can see another 5 customers from what? Here, that street. And this other side of the street, another what? 5 customers. So that means that single PON that we are bringing in here, we need a link to come to this side, another link to come to this side, another one for this side, because each of them will be a division. Remember, these 5 customers here is one cable we use and send the link down there. True of us. And when that one cable reach there, we then divide again inside that compound, right? And split to those people. When it comes to this other side, this other compound here, one cable will also bring the link and we divide again, right? So it's best to say that from our OLT, sorry, let me just reduce this thing to, I just want to add one ONU. All right, so yes. So in planning now, we take this point now as the what? The distribution, the first distribution point, right? How many places have we counted to distribute to? This is area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4, area 5, and area what? 6. So we need a 1/8. So firstly here we need 1/8. Then this is area 1. Maybe we may not have another distribution box close by, or even that same distribution box there, inside that same compartment. We can take out one of that signal out of that 1/8 and distribute it again to the 10 customers that we needed here. So I'll now split it to the 1/16 to support those 10 customers. So I'll just use this one to represent these customers here. Then from this 1/8, I'll add another ONU. To add a new link, you add an ONU, sorry. That's the way you do it here. So this one now is going for this area 2 over here. This area 2, okay. Their distribution bus can stay here at this junction. So we said 5 customers here, right? So that will be 1/8, isn't it? 5 customers, 1/8. All right. We have another area 3 here. So from our 1 by 8 again, I add another one. Where is it? So we're taking this thing. This is for this area here. So I'll add their own 1 by 8 again. 5 customers, that's what we say there again. So I'll add their own 1 by 8. Add a splitter for them, 1 by 8. Then remember again, for this other area, this is another area that we talked of, isn't it? The 4th area. From our first splitter, we split again for them. 1 customer. So that would be here. And in that their compound where they have their cable, we add our splitter. 5 customers or another 1 by 8. So basically what we've just done now is we've supported 10 customers here, 5 here, that's 15, 5 here, 20, right? 5 here, 30, isn't it? So we can still take out some more from this our splitter. So from that our first 1 by 8, we will still have 4 ports left, right? So we can take another link, add another link from there, and service the people in this area, isn't it? So to service the people in this area here, maybe you can put their splitter somewhere in the middle. So add a splitter for them. Now this area is big, a little, right? So we can say 10 customers. Since it's 10 customers, we put a 1 by 16 for them. So I'll just put the, all right. So let me count again. 10 customers, 15, 20, sorry, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, right? We are left with what? 15, isn't it? All right. If you look further, we didn't talk about this side. I only talk about this side here, right? So what about these houses here? Because if we go through this street, see the termination of the street over here. So that means this our single pawn should be able to service. Since it's servicing here, we should use it to service the remaining side of the street. So we just look at here. It's a big zone. So maybe let's assume another what, 10 customers. So from our 1 by 8, our first 1 by 8, we have 8 ports, 3 left. So add another one. Where did that one go to? To sit here. So that one will go straight down for these people here. Seeing how big the street is, I'll just say we use this single one to service here and here. So I'll add the 1 by 16 there. 1 by 16. So that means you can have customers here and another customer here, right? Add 1 customer again. Stop running. Can add another customer here, right? All of them being serviced by this 1 by 16, isn't it? So if you take it, total, we assume 10 here, right? 5 here, 15. Another 5 here, 20. Another 5 here. How many? 25. 10 here, 35. 10 here, 45. This side, even how big they are, we can take 15, 50, isn't it? 50 customers. But if you notice in our splitting, we have enough, isn't it? Here, these are splitter over here, right? How many do they split? 16, isn't it? And we say 10 customers, but we can actually have 16 customers from there. Christian, stop sleeping. We can actually have 16 customers that can come out from here, isn't it? 2 of us. Let's say they exceed what we assume. We assume 10 here, and they exceed that 10. But remember, from our planning, because we planned more than what they needed, we have what, 16. So we have 6 more ports after that 10, isn't it? We don't need to draw a new cable to them to provide power to those people. over here we assumed 5 customers, but we have a 1/8 sitting under the compound. So it means that 3 we have room for more, isn't it? 3 can come out. Over here we assumed 5, we still added another 1/8 for them. Look at it here, 1/8. So if more customers come from that zone, we can add for it, isn't it? This zone here, how many? We assumed 5, we added the 1/8 for them. We have room for more. In this zone we assumed 10, we added 1/16, we have room for more, 6 more. In this zone we assuming 15 and we added 1/16, so room for what? 1 more customer. And if you add up all this, you even notice that we have gone beyond our target of what? 50, isn't it? 16 here, 16 here, 16 here, that's 32, plus 8, that's another 16, that's 72, plus 8, that's 80, plus 16, 96, isn't it? Which the maximum that this single pawn would have carried is how many? 128. True or false? True. So that means we are good in our design, isn't it? We need to go to the next street. All right. If you go over again, if you look at the way this Rumosin Road is, if you go from here and enter through here to target these customers, and you go from here through this side to target these customers, which one would be shorter?
First one.
To go from this side,
Yes.
and enter. All right. So that means our pawn 2. We'll click on it. Pawn 2. All right. So we add another ONU 1. Yeah, I clicked on the OLT to do that. Now this is where I added the other ONU, so I can change the color of this second pawn so that you could identify it easily. The color, maybe we can put another color, blue. Now you see the difference. All the people on pawn 1, they are all purple color, right?
Yes.
Anybody will put on pawn 2 will be what? Blue color. All right. So we are good to go. So our first drop point is here, isn't it? To enter this street. So I lock in this waypoint. All right. So we are. I'm not trying to target these customers here because this looks more of lock-up stores, not residential homes, isn't it? This an access road now.
Yes.
The people that will be facing an access road will be stores,
Stores.
and the stores are not our primary customers. Our primary customers are residential homes. So we'll go further down into the street. Now we have, if you look in this street now, we have some links between this side, isn't it? We have here, we have here, we have here. First thing, when you enter, you divide it into what? An area. This is an area, right? This is another area. This for me again is another area, area 3. I have this other one, area 4, and I have my last area, area 5. So based on that, I'll put my box, my main distribution box in the middle. 5 areas, so I will divide it into what? 8, isn't it? Then to go to my area 1, which is here, this is my area 1 here. It will be my first pawn going to my area 1. Add waypoint. Just to put it here, lock. Okay. How many pawns were added in this thing again? Okay, just one pawn. All right. So that's my first area done. my second area, add another ONU, add one. All right, so it's now prompting me to sign in. So I think this is where we'll end. You go back home and continue what? Further. Are we following? But we get the gist. Do you get it?
Signing is free, man.
Yeah, it's free. Don't be scared. So I want you to, by tomorrow, I want to see this done on your laptops. This is Rumosi. This is where you are targeting. This area, all of this area. Not only this side though. Okay, just do for only this part of Rumosi, this side, this right-handed side. Forget about this other side. Leave the left-hand side. Just concentrate on the right-hand side. Are we following? I want you to do it up to the end of the Rumekni Road, which is at this junction here that buses to Alu Road. Are you following? So I want something done. Look at the places. Look at even. Are you seeing some of the places that have planned the streets out, though they have not built the houses there? Yes. Right? It's not yet developed. Like see this side, it's well developed, well planned. Sorry, right? But not yet developed. Now, as it's not yet developed, you structurize it into areas, your own self. Like I look at this place now. Look at this long place, right? If I put a cable here, I put a cable in the middle. I can divide this into 3 areas. Area 1, the middle, another area. The other side, another what? Area, isn't it? I take my box and put a sub-distribution box here for area 1, sub-distribution box for area 2, sub-distribution box for what? Area what? 3. Is it making sense? And at the end of the day, you're getting your plan. I want you, if you're finished the first OLT, add another OLT. You can add another one. You can add another OLT. That will be your OLT 2. So that you continue. As many OLTs as possible. Add. Let's see what you can do. See what me have done. You don't need to add the number of customers. Remember, I assume 10 here. Since you don't need to add the number of ONUs for that place, just change your naming scheme to the area. This is my area 0001, and I'm saying it's for 10 customers. 10 cost, right? I go to my area 2. That's for 5 customers here. So I call it area 0002. How many? Customer what? 5. So that if I look at your assignment and I look at based on this, I can interpret it. Are you following? You can submit this to another fiber engineer and the person can go and execute your plan. Do you understand? Because your plan is well structured. I see the cable route. I see where to add my distribution box. I see the cables where to add sub-distribution boxes. For example, is here. I have a sub-distribution box in this compound. Well planned. I know the customers that I'm expecting from this area. From this area, this is my area 003. Area 0003. That's how many customers? That's 5 customers, 5 cost. Isn't it? This is my area for another 5 customers, but that's my area 4. Area 0004 dash 5 customer. Here, this is my area 6. Area 00006-10 customers. I have my area 00007. This for 16 customers. I'll delete the second ONU in that area. We don't need it since we have already specified. So I'll just delete this other ONU here. This, I stop at 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 areas. So this will be my area 7. But this area 7, no? Area 7, area 6, area 4. Where is area 5? Area 3, area 2, area 1. I skipped area 5. No wala. Alright, so for this other estate here now, or estate or street, this will be my area 9. We stop at area 7, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's just assume maximum of 8 areas for that side. So I'll just skip 8 and start from what? 9. So area 0009 dash. How many am I assuming for that place? It's just this small region here. So let me say 5 customers. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the end of the day, what we have achieved with this exercise or this knowledge is that by the time we deploy this plan, this can be as the follow-up for the marketing team. This can be a guide for the fiber team, isn't it? This can also be a guide to the networking team. Because we have segregated the areas, we have segregated the customers. In doing this, I can tell my CRM team, isn't it? Please go to this area and market. I need 10 customers from here. Do you understand? And as those 10 customers are coming out from there, based on the work of the CRM team, your technical team would look at your deployment graph and find out how you have planned the boxes, the distribution boxes, isn't it? And once those once the first customer come from there, they will deploy that distribution box according to the plan. So that even when the 10th customer will come out from this place, they're not going to change the distribution box. Because if you don't plan for growth, growth will plan for what? For you, isn't it? If you don't plan for growth, let's say for instance, I send someone else, Christian has done this plan, right? And he has left, this is the blueprint. And someone else comes and says that he will not follow what Christian did. He will just come to this side. Because one customer has come out from this place. Maybe we have sent our CRM team and they have marketed this particular place. The first customer has paid for installation. The technical person just go, say, yeah, now. He goes there and put a distribution box and sends the signal to that customer. Right? Now, the next time, maybe in the next 2 weeks, 4 customers from here pay. From this same street, they pay. What will happen? He run cable from here to the next one, isn't it? He will run cable from here to the last one. Now, if you calculate the distance between here and here, we are wasting cable, 2 of us. Which, if the technical team we had stick to the plan that was made by Christian from the onset, which was put a DB here, and from here target this based on where the marketers are going. Because the marketers are actually following Christian's plan, isn't it? The customers will also be coming according to what? The plan. Making your deployment seeable, plannable. From here we can know, someone can just come, you can give the person this plan and they understand what? The network. Seamless handover. If an organization should contract you as a fiber technician to draw out a map for them to plan, This is what you have to what? Give them. Because in essence, you may not be the one to execute what? The job. Do you understand? They would pay you for your expertise. If you are wondering. They will pay you for your what? Expertise. For the drawing the plan, they will pay you for that. You can even further say that since I'm the one drawing the plan, I should be the best person what? Executing it, isn't it? That was that Joseph, isn't it, in the Bible? So you have to represent your knowledge in the best what? Possible way. And in presenting your knowledge in the best possible way, all these requirements that we have been saying, the first requirement, an area should be there, isn't it? An area should be there. If you have not gone through the class, you would not know that we have to segment these places to what? Different areas. True of us. And each area should not just be on their own. They should have partners, isn't it? They should have what? Partners. Area 1 has partner, and those partners are close by, isn't it? So that if something happens to area 1, let's say for instance, if a problem happens to people in area 1, let it not go and affect every other what? Area in that zone. Because if it does affect every other area in that zone, there is problem. If one customer was to send a complaint, imagine 50 of them sending what? Complaints. You'll be what? You'll be messed up. Isn't it? So, go back home. Create an account. And do this. Now when you do this, tomorrow I'll show you how to share the link so that I'll mark it. When you're done doing this, you can share this to someone else. The person can access this page without signing in. Are you following? Or without editing what you have done. So that you'll not be scared that if you share the link, someone will edit what you have done. No. What you have done is what you have done. And also there are other informations that with time would learn from this page. But let's go back home first and execute this. This will be the end of our class today. Thank you.